We want to support these efforts. We want to make sure that these gang injunctions are dissolved in their entirety, and we want to make sure that the city attorney hears us loud and clear. Thank you.
Thank you. And once again, June 13th, room 263, Board of Supervisors hearing. We really have want to hold the city attorney accountable, for this.
What time?
4 p.m. So it's a special evening time. It's a 4 p.m. time. We really want to get the community out there. I serve on the San Francisco Reentry Council, and this really hits me near to my heart, really deep. San Francisco, I think I'm going to echo what Daniel said. It's a great city. It really is. But if you're a black or brown person in this community, you feel more and more unwelcomed every day, every year. And I'm going to tell you, there's a sense of hypocrisy from our city, from the city attorney's office, for us to stand up to Trump and say, that we don't accept his rhetoric, we don't accept his bigoted messages. We say that we're against a Muslim registry, and yet in San Francisco for the past 11 years, we've had a black and brown registry, a permanent registry here in San Francisco. There's a level of hypocrisy there. Very recently, the city attorney, conducted a review finally, even though he put it in writing in an MOU saying that he was going to do a review every 3 years. He finally did it, found out that there were deceased black and brown men on that list, deceased individuals on there. How disrespectful is that? How disrespectful is to the mothers, to the brothers, to the sisters out there, to the families, to the community to have that. So he finally did his review, and now he's saying that he removed them because it's effective. So I challenge you, the media who's here today, I challenge you to really dig into that and ask, why was it effective? In his press release, all he cited was arrest data. There's no correlation. There's no correlation there. So I challenge the media here today to ask those tough questions to the city attorney's office, and we're going to stand up to him. The Reentry Council took a position on this, and we're going to deliver a letter to him right after this, because this is unconscionable. This is embarrassing that Los Angeles, Oakland, Portland, even the conservative county of Orange County, even the Trump-loving conservative county of Orange County got rid of their gang injunctions. This is embarrassing for San Francisco. So what do we want? When do we want the injunctions ended? Now. When do we want them ended? Now.
So you didn't hear many voices there yelling now, did you? We need more people there. That's why this show is putting out the word on this show that on the 13th we're going to end the gang injunctions at a hearing. So it'll be at the Board of Supervisors at 4 p.m. And my guest, or actually the man that has done so much work on this, his name is Jose Bernal, who is a Reentry Council Board appointee. He's a hard-working Jose, and he's co-chair of the Reentry Council's Policy Subcommittee, and he spoke to the council about the state of gang injunctions. And so these gang injunctions were brought about by the city attorney, Dennis Herrera, to curb so-called violence in the Bayview Oakdale district. And, well, here's a side note. The developer Lennar were also looking to develop the land nearby. So this was in 2007, and the gang injunctions will classify people under public nuisance laws, and so they don't really have any same kind of rights you would in criminal court. It's a civil injunction. So they classify it under public nuisance laws and create safety zones where black and brown people live. So this is Visitation Valley, the Bayview, Hunters Point, Mission, the Mission District, the Western Addition. And see, Jose asked whether or not San Francisco gang injunctions are relevant anymore, because most of the other cities have gotten rid of them. They realize, I hope that they because they're a violation of civil rights, I would think. But San Francisco just hasn't done it yet. So we've got to urge Dennis Herrera on June 13th at 4 p.m. at the room 250. I'm going to say it over and over. So the more people that show up, the better chance we have. So anyway, this Jose asked whether or not the gang injunctions are relevant, and the city and county of San Francisco entered a memorandum of understanding where the city attorney Hererra agreed to do a 3-year internal review on the effectiveness of gang injunctions, which Jose has been unable to locate. After placing a request for the info with police department, well, Jose got a letter replying that his request couldn't be fulfilled because of data limitations. I don't know, but my gut instinct says that they just didn't bother. So I hope I'm wrong. Tell me. Let me know if I'm wrong. So Jose said he'll be calling in at around 6:10. I got a text from him. So yeah, he works hard. He's done so much. He's an inspiration to all of us. So this internal review couldn't be fulfilled because of these data limitations. Now, maybe he can clarify that. Some names on the injunction list were dead, passed away. The police didn't bother, to comply, even to update the list, let alone, update the state of mind that we really don't need this gang injunction. There's some of the people on the list moved out of the city. There were no white people on there, by the way, just brown people and black folks. So some of the people on the list were even deported. Some grew up. So now, see, Lennar, they talk about public safety a lot, but is it really public safety or is it gentrification? Now that's the core issue. That's the question that we can talk about on June 13th at 4 p.m. in room 250. So now people on the list they don't have a right to an attorney. So, and they can get on the list just because of a rap song, I'm scared of gentrification. That's what scares me. It's frightening. So, yeah, there's no due process because it's a civil action, like I said. And yeah, I probably need a switch man here. I got all kinds of things to show you and not enough fingers, not enough hands. Now, there's the gang injunctions are court-issued restraining orders, and they prohibit alleged gang members from participating in certain specified activities within a safety zone. And it's justified by classifying these alleged gang members as a public nuisance. And so now the status of the injunctions in San Francisco, are such that the law... they're restricted to criminal behavior, and they can target non-criminal conduct. So that's defined as wearing certain clothes, the tattoos. So it gives law enforcement officers more power to detain people they suspect to be gang affiliated, even if they might not have had the right to detain them before, and even if that person is not named on the injunction. And then people can be punished in a criminal court for violating a civil order. So they get you coming and going. They get people, it's... And they were implemented through the city attorney's office, and he's more or less the gatekeeper. If you want to get off the list, I'll talk about that later. A total of 139 people are named on the injunctions, and they get on the list by having 2 out of 10 characteristics. There's a list of those. They're here somewhere. It's online. There's 10. And So everybody, well, all 139 people are black or brown, and it prohibits people from congregating in groups, associating with particular people, or being out after a designated time, or wearing certain colors. And the violations can be pursued civilly by the city attorney for fines, up to 5 days in the county jail, or up to 25 years in prison. So it can lead, because the violations lead to gang enhancements. It means that if you do something rather, it might be semi-minor for someone else, but if if you're on that list, then you get the enhancements, and it leads to an additional 2, 15, or 20 years, 25 years. And there's an opt-out. You know, if a person wants to get removed from the injunction, there's an opt-out process, but it might be difficult to navigate. And the injunctions are the tools of the civil court system. People would have to hire their own attorneys to challenge the filing of the injunction or to defend against a civil contempt proceeding. That means you've got to have money to hire. They're not going to represent you for free. Now, Jeff Adachi is the public defender, and he's got our backs here. Jeff Adachi is good on a lot of issues. We're lucky to have him. And the gang policing criminalizes and stigmatizes entire communities. It gives, and the social violence prevention program should receive, you know, a greater amount of funding than criminalization and imprisonment. So we haven't we're not investing, I mean, in education. We're not investing in housing or after-school activities, youth development, none of that, job training, placement. San Francisco has really dropped the ball here, so we got to get on. We can't let them keep ignoring us like this. That's why we got to stack that boardroom in room 250, June 13th, 4 p.m. And the city has a consistent stand in opposing a registry for African Americans, and so it opposed the idea of a permanent registry exclusive to Muslims. So, see, it's a failed experiment. They realize this, is that other California jurisdictions, some much less progressive than San Francisco, have already lifted their injunctions. Oakland ended its injunction in 2015. So the city attorney promised to do a review after 10 years. He hasn't, and he's supposed to do one every 3 years. So he's broken his promise to us. So that's going to be one of the talking points, how the city attorney has broken his promise to us. And he's just really gotten away with it too long. So it's a memorandum of understanding, and this memorandum of understanding is just, we're tired of waiting for them to do something about it. And a review of the injunction was supposed to happen every 3 years from their implementation, and it hasn't happened. So the recent court cases have called into question the constitutionality of gang injunctions. You know, the Ninth Circuit, the ACLU, and we historically lead the nation here with progressive policies, but this really isn't progressive at all, is it? Let's see. So if he's at a meeting, where did he say he was? Oh, he's in the film Western Edition. Okay, so if I want, I gave you his public comment. See, and also in court filings, the police couldn't say who was in charge, how they operated, or how the individual joined. I mean, if they keep arresting the same people over and over, you know what I mean? If they keep and then the police just, they use that to make them seem like they're a gang when they just keep arresting the same. Anyway, It's all gaslighting. I'm used to this. I'm an old hippie. It used to happen to us too, but not. It was different. But it was still, they kept arresting the same people over and over because they just don't. You know, they don't really. They're lazy or something. I don't know. It seems like it. So they believe that they call them. They hold them responsible for all the crimes in the neighborhood, not just what happens right there. So that's they all get blamed for it. Let's see. So here we go with this. And then I wanted to show you this. So, oh, here it is. Okay, I shouldn't have worn my glasses. Okay, there's civil actions, and I'm going to read somebody's testimony because this broke my heart here. So Lucero Herrera explained to members how the gang injunctions had affected her life growing up in the Mission District. Lucero stated she was 19 years old. Jose Bernal.
Hey, Dorsey, how are you?
Oh, I'm
Harris,
great.
are you there?
Good to hear from you. Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah. Hold on.
Good.
Hold on.
Yeah, we've got a couple of minutes left, so I've briefed the
Hey,
audience.
Harris,
Yeah.
you there? Okay.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right. How you doing, Dorsey?
Yeah, hi, Jose. This is Jose and Bernal. We have a couple of minutes left. And tell them how they can end the gang injunctions at gmail.com. Tell the audience how they can help solve this gang injunction by emailing. Do they get their name on a list and they get notified of actions coming up besides the one on June 13th?
Yeah, you can definitely email us, ndinjunctions@gmail.com.
Yep.
And we'll keep you up to date, keep you posted, when we have action items.
Yep.
If you want to do a little more than that and be involved in our organizing efforts, we're meeting just about every week now because so much that's going on. But we usually meet on the first Thursday of the month. And the location is just to be determined every time. There's no particular organization sponsoring this. It's just, community folks. It's just, people, volunteers, coming together trying to end these injunctions.
Yes. So now when we go to this on June 13th, when we go to, is Dennis Herrera going to be at this hearing?
So I just got a confirmation today that he's not going to be there. He's going to send one of his deputy city attorneys. I don't think, he can take it being there. So, that just comes to show you. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. So.
Yeah.
I'm speechless. Well, he shows up for other stuff. He's almost always there when I go to the Board of Supervisors. Oh, well.
Yeah.
That's scary. So, now, are you optimistic about losing this injunction? I've been reading over the information here, and civil court really probably isn't the way to go then, is it? Even to get off the list.
Yeah, I think it's going to take a lot of. He just recently announced that he's, dropping more people from the list. Which is, in one way, we got him to do that through community pressure. On the other end is we're not asking him to make the injunctions better or clean them up. We're asking them to end them completely, to abolish them. And no one on that list should have ever been there to begin with. So he's saying that, the reason why he's dropping people is because they work. But he has absolutely zero scientific data to back that up. Zero.
Well, they're disempowering communities. I think that might be the goal.
And, and I think, Iris, you could probably talk about this a little more, the gentrification that's happening as well.
Yes. I mentioned that earlier. injunctions fuel the gentrification. In fact, how about the Oakdale project, where the Oakdale, that's the origin of the gang injunction, where the high amounts of violence taking place there, and across the street, Lennar wanted to develop that area, right?
Right.
So this is not just happening here; it's happening all over the place, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Okay, so we've got about 1 minute left.
Do you want to chime in before?
Yeah, I just want to say, playing along with the Oakdale mob thing, that's exactly what was going on. At the same time, the community was talking about the toxic land and all the stuff that was going on. At the same time, with Lennar building, they were building the case for the gang injunction. So all of it ran in together. The community, which is gentrified now, is speaking up and seeing the development of Lennar, but it was all tied together. So all the communities have been gentrified. The Mission, the Western Addition, Bayview, every neighborhood has been gentrified, due to this gang injunction.
Oh yes, it's not fair. It's not fair at all. So we've got 15 seconds left. So what can people do?
So we need folks to sign up to endtheinjunctions@gmail.com. We also need folks to show up June 13th. Even if you don't want to speak, we still need people there to show that we're not going to stand for this. This goes beyond just injunctions. This is our fight for our community. They tried to push us out for so long. This is an opportunity for us to fight back. So we need you there June 13th.
All right. Thank you, Jose. Thank you for all you do, Jose. That was Jose Bernal of the Reentry Council.